Count on Talk 99.5 to keep you informed. Download our app. Listen live at talk995.com or tell your smart speaker to play Talk 99.5.
One more time, warm up those tires, hit your marks, and let's go racing, boys and girls. NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, Formula E, and NHRA Racing Talk. This is the Championship Racing Network. Now here's your hosts, Steve West and Matt Nicholson, with producer John Myers.
And indeed, the gang's all here on this 4th of July. Hope everything is going well for you as we celebrate America's 250th.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Congratulations. Somehow we made it this far. Can we make it any further? Well, as Ben Franklin said, we've given you a republic. Can you keep it? Ain't that the question of the day? I'm Steve West. That is Matt Nicholson. Producer John Myers is on CRN Live on YouTube. We appreciate him very, very much as we get into the news of the July 4th weekend. And as we always do, we kick off by kind of recapping everything that happened last weekend and then getting you set up with the schedule for this weekend. And stop me if you've heard this before. Shane Van Gisbergen wins at a road course.
Color me shocked.
Indeed. That's what I didn't get the chance to watch this. You sent me the text, and I said basically the same thing. Shocked. Not. We know it's not unusual. Moonlighting in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series took the secondary series to class, zipped around the track with ease, best his Cup Series teammate Connor Zilisch by more than 1.3 seconds, and Zilisch actually wasn't bad himself. Zilisch had to work his way through the field twice.
Yeah, he had a sporty car, no doubt.
What was the situation? Caused him to have to go to the back.
I can't remember exactly what it was. I think one was a bad pit stop.
That makes sense.
I can't remember the second one.
Yeah.
But he got after it.
Yeah, he did. SVG Zilisch trailed by Brent Cruz. He that good of a road course racer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Between that and the car. Oof. Anthony Alfredo, 4th. Parker Retzlaff, 5th. Rest of your top 10, Carson Kvapil, Corey Day, Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, and Sheldon Creed. Justin Allgaier continuing to lead the series points over Jesse Love, 858 to 651. It's just ridiculous.
Walk off.
Let's flip around to the other side of chase contention here as we are starting to wind down on the number of races left. Brent Cruz is now in. And remember, he didn't start the year.
Yep. Yep.
Good night.
Yep.
1 point over the cut line. Taylor Gray is at the cut line. William Sawalich is 20 under that cut line. William Sawalich, just a bad day, not a real good road course racer. What's the story with William?
He's not a good road course racer.
Okay, so now that we're off of the road courses, let's see what William can do, basically, right?
Yeah, he's had a lot of bad luck.
Yeah.
So he's got to just find his footing and reset.
Yeah, well.
Best way to put it.
Let's see what Chicagoland does for him. Oh, preview. Sunday morning in Austria, Cadillac brought upgrades that we talked about last weekend. They didn't upgrade the brakes. You need to keep trying, guys. Let's just say that both cars suffered brake problems to the point where one of the two actually had the brake system catch on fire.
Oof.
Upgrade the brakes, guys. Meantime, Mercedes continued their dominance on the season so far. This time, it was the team veteran George Russell who found himself out front, realized that the team wasn't about all him supporting Kimi Antonelli. He actually got a win, said at the end, man, it's kind of refreshing to remember how to win, I guess. Russell beats Max Verstappen to the line, Antonelli in third. Then you got Oscar Piastri, Lewis Hamilton making up the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Isaac Hadjar, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, Liam Lawson, and Arvid Lindblad, the rookie. Kimi Antonelli continues to lead the points over Russell, 171 to 131. Then you got Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, and Lando Norris filling out the top 5. Constructors' Cup, Mercedes 302 points in the Constructors' Cup lead to Ferrari's 204. This is starting to become a walkaway.
Yeah, that's a definite.
McLaren, your defending champion, is third at 159, so effectively half the number of points of the leaders currently. Red Bull 115, Alpine 57, Racing Bulls 44. Haas F1 has 21, Williams has 11. You got 2 for Audi. Aston Martin holds a point, and Cadillac is still shut out. But, if your brakes catch on fire all the time, you kind of have a hard time scoring.
Yeah, that you do. That you do.
Sunday continued in Norwalk, Ohio. The NHRA got into the finals of the Summit Racing Equipment NHRA Nationals. In Top Fuel, we had the chance to talk about this kind of at length, more in detail during this week's Crossed Flags. Matty Gordon, the rookie, taking on Top Fuel champion Antron Brown. Brown quicker off the light, but at the other end, the rookie gets the win. Gordon pulling a 3.786 ET, 333.16 miles per hour, marks her very first ever Top Fuel win, and I'm going to say it right now, and you and I said it during Crossed Flags, this is likely the first of many.
Yeah, it's not going to be the last.
I mean, there's a reason why Ron Capps picked her, put her in that really, really top flight, top fuel car, and she has certainly shown, number one, season opener, Gator Nationals, massive following already.
Oh, yeah.
So she's got the backing of the fans.
Yep.
And then she turns around and pulls it out with the talent. Way to go, Matty Gordon.
She's making her mark known very, very quickly.
Yeah, good for her.
The good part about that with her winning as well, her dad won top alcohol funny car.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she comes from a family of drag racers. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it was a weekend sweep for them.
Yeah, and speaking of weekend sweeps, it was a weekend sweep for Ron Capps Motorsports because in funny car, Ron himself taking on Jack Beckman in the finals. Capps was so barely quicker off the light on the reaction time, and at the other end, it paid off with a win. 3.969 ET, 328.54 miles per hour. That's Capps' third event win this year and the 80th of his career. Ron Capps Motorsports sweeping Top Fuel and funny car.
Yep.
Pro Stock Car, Aaron Stanfield taking on Matt Hartford. Stanfield get this, pulls a near perfect reaction time, 0.002. It don't get much better than that.
No.
Ends up with a whole shot win, and for those that are relatively new to the show, that means that the reaction time counters his slower light-to-light run. Yeah, actually, Matt Hartford was just a little bit quicker to the other end, but it was all about the reaction time. Stanfield 6.626 ET, 208.75, marks his second win of the year, 16th event win of his career to date. And in Pro Stock Motorcycle came down to a repeat battle for the second event in a row, Richard Gadsden versus Gage Herrera. Herrera with a kind of unusual red light. Big-time mental error there.
Yeah.
Gadsden had a clean run, gets the win, 6.849 ET, 197.36, marks the second win of the year, 16th of his career to date. Top 5 in points from the top 4 divisions of the NHRA. Sean Langdon leading Top Fuel points, 114 over Doug Kalita. Leah Pruitt, Tony Stewart, Antron Brown make up the top 5. We noticed this. Matty Gordon is well inside the top 10. She is in great shape to make it to the countdown to the championship. We'll be talking about that a little bit later in the show. Ron Capps is atop the funny car points, up 24, only 24 on Matt Hagan. Then you got J.R. Todd, Jordan Vandergriff, and Jack Beckman. As far as Pro Stock Car, Greg Anderson leads it by 11. Only 11 over Dallas Glenn. Then it's Matt Hartford, Greg Stanfield, Matthew Latino. And Richard Gadsden leading Angie Smith in Pro Stock Motorcycle by 58. The rest of your top 5, Gage Herrera, Matt Smith, and John Hall. And then that takes us back out west to Sonoma. And as the laps wound down, was it going to be SVG again, or could Chase Briscoe, kind of an underrated road course racer in his own right, could he come in and pull up an upset? It was a long 57-lap green flag run that finishes this race. With only a few laps left, Briscoe pits, gets 4 fresh tires, used them to their best advantage to begin chasing down the new road course king. But he came up just short for the second year in a row to SVG, and SVG now has his 8th career Cup Series road course win. That ties him for Tony Stewart for the second all-time in Cup Series history, behind Cup Series road course wins leader Jeff Gordon. Got to remember, though, when Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon were setting that, we were only doing 2 road course races a year. So there is a slight difference, but still, 8 road course wins in the Cup Series is nothing to sneeze at.
In 16 starts.
Yeah. And that brings up the question here. You had the chance to watch it. I was up here at the radio station down the hall running a Barons game, which I'll be doing tomorrow too, by the way. If the race had gone how many more laps could Chase Briscoe have caught and passed SVG, or is that just not? 2 laps?
2 laps he gives him.
Okay. So it's just a
He
matter of
made
running
him-
out of laps.
He made him earn it.
Which is not a bad thing.
No,
You know, I mean,
no, it's not.
It don't get us wrong. It's impressive when you get a guy like SVG able to just walk away from the crowd and win by 15, 20 seconds like he did at Mexico City last year. But at the same time, we would like to see him challenged.
Yeah, it was one point in the race he got up to. I think it was 11-second lead. 11-second lead on a 2-mile road course.
Yeah,
That's a substantial margin.
it is.
But Briscoe's car was good enough that he chipped it down, and he chipped it down in a pretty considerable fashion.
Yeah, way to go.
Yep.
All right. Third place was Ty Gibbs. Gibbs was the pole sitter and ran out front for a number of laps on the day, winds up third. Kyle Larson fourth, Christopher Bell fifth, Ryan Blaney sixth, then Connor Zilich, Ryan Preece, Michael McDowell, and Alex Bowman. Correct me if I'm wrong. First top 10, Connor Zilich?
Yes.
Yep. Congratulations to him as well in the Cup Series. Anyway, Denny Hamlin takes over the points lead, now up a slim 4 points on Tyler Reddick on the other end of the chase standings. SVG moves into the chase. He sits in 14th place. Ryan Preece and Austin Cindric are in. Austin Cindric is the cut line. Eric Jones falls out of the chase. He is 12 under the cut line. But now is the situation where we really have to see whether or not SVG's improvement on oval tracks is taking effect. Because 14th place, not terrifically high up over the cut line here. He has very little margin for error.
Yeah, and with a track that hadn't been ran on in 7 years and only just a handful of people that's within the series that even ran on it,
Sure.
it's throwing quite a few for a loop.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that coming up in Cup Series news here in just a few moments. Meantime, let's talk about the racing on this 4th of July weekend right here in the U.S., and it actually began in China, where it's just another day for them. Formula E ran this morning on the 12-turn, 3.05-mile-long road course. Pole sitter Pascal Wehrlein. Wehrlein had to battle on lap 1 to keep the lead, was able to fend off the field, and then the hard rains fell. Now, here's the thing. Formula E has always used treaded or wet weather tires ever since it started. But when you're talking about racing really heavy rains like the ones that they got over there in China for this morning, it overwhelms even those. So the race ended under full course yellow, the rains giving the season 10 world champion his 10th career win. Wehrlein beats Antonio Felix da Costa and Jake Dennis, who were the other two on the podium. Remainder of the top 10, Felipe Drugovich, Nick DeVries, Jean-Eric Verne, Joel Eriksson, Mitch Evans, Max Gunther, and Nico Muller. Now, here's the thing. This is a doubleheader weekend for the guys over in Formula E, and since they've got a second race coming up early tomorrow morning as we air live, we're going to hold off on updating the points until next week's show, so where we can give you all the latest. So that brings us to the other events happening on this July 4th weekend. Later today, O'Reilly Auto Parts Series taken to Chicagoland Speedway. The race will air on CW and MRN Radio, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Central Time start. Then we get to that Sunday morning race I was just talking about, Formula E running the second half of the Shanghai E-Prix. Same course as early this morning, 3 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Central Time, or wherever you can, on whatever you can find Formula E on. Let's face it, they don't make it easy on us. But unless you're an insomniac, most people probably aren't going to really be checking it out.
Which was me last night. So I want to publicly thank my neighbors for shooting fireworks until 1 a.m. this morning. Thank you.
But instead of watching Formula E, what were you doing?
I fired up iRacing and raced.
So you were racing yourself.
Yep.
Let's see. Over to Britain. Hey, you remember that country? You know, that country that we fought a war with like 250 years ago and won some independence from? Them, yeah. They're hosting Formula One for the Pirelli British Grand Prix. Runs on the Silverstone circuit, 18 turns, 3.4 miles long. Apple TV has the event rolling 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central Time. IndyCar's back in action. They're going to run the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This is a 13-turn, 2.25 mile long course. Airs on Fox and IRN Radio, starts 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Central Time. And Cup Series, I'm actually going to get to watch this tomorrow night if the Barons cooperate. No extra innings, Barons. Primetime, though, is effectively where they're going to end up. Chicagoland Speedway, Eero, E-E-R-O, Eero.
Eero.
Eero. What is Eero?
It's an electronics company.
Oh, congratulations. It's the Aero 400, 1.5 mile tri-oval track. Just to remind you about it, since it's been a while since we've been there. Was it before COVID, right?
Yep.
TNT Sports, HBO Max, if you don't have cable like I don't. MRN Radio have the coverage, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time start.
F1 just finished their sprint race up.
All right, talk to me about that.
Yeah, the youngster that's still on the hot streak, Kimi Antonelli, took it.
And Lewis Hamilton got the pole for that.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton
Okay.
was second. He got him by 2.7 seconds. They were in a walk-off from the rest of the field. Lando Norris was third, George Russell fourth, Leclerc fifth, Verstappen sixth, Piastri seventh, Liam Lawson eighth.
Okay, and those are the guys that get points because they only do top 8 get points. All right.
Hadjar ninth, Lindblad 10th.
All right, let's find out how the fine folks from Cadillac are doing with their brake problems.
Alexander Albon was 18th, 50.7 seconds behind
In a sprint race?
in a sprint race.
Wow.
Bottas was the lead Cadillac in 19th, 75 seconds behind the leader.
He was 25 seconds behind the next closest competitor, which was Albon.
Fernando Alonso was 20th, 91 seconds behind the leader.
Wow.
Lance Stroll and Sergio Perez were the backmarker cars, respectively,
Were they running?
one lap down.
1 lap down. Okay. Well, at least they were still running.
Yeah.
Maybe there's hope. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I use that term loosely, hope.
The Haas twins were 15th and 16th, respectively.
Speaking of needing work. Oof. All right. When we come back, usually, as we always do, we lead off with the biggest story of the week. I'm going to do an overall racing thing because you might have heard about them. They're called the ESPY Awards. They got this best driver category. We'll tell you the nominees. And you want to talk about silly season taking effect. It has really taken root in IndyCar. So that's where we're going next as we start to get things really rolling here on this July 4th edition of CRN.
Don't touch that dial. The Championship Racing Network will be right back. 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel, and we're back to more racing action on the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome back into the show. Steve West, Matt Nicholson, right here on the microphones and on camera. Real Talk 99.5 on YouTube, or CRN Live on YouTube, which is where producer John is holding things down capably, and we appreciate him very much. Let's see. Want to thank some fine folks who are helping us put this show on each and every Saturday morning, including the folks at Siluria Brewing Company. Was out there just last night, as I do on just about every Friday night. Hosted music trivia, had a good turnout, 14 teams in all. It was a great time, had by all. Today, I'll let you know, they're going to be closed. They're honoring the 4th of July. They are not going to be open today. But if you follow them on social media, they will let you know, because they always say this, sometimes on Sunday, because it just kind of depends on what all's going on. I would think with them being closed today, they'll probably be open tomorrow, but if you follow them on social media, they'll let you know. Regular trivia on Tuesday night, they usually have just about something going on each and every night of the week, and that's another reason why you should follow them on social media. Plus, they got the great craft brews, all locally done. They've got some hard ciders as well. They've even got root beer and some other offerings for the kids that are in there.
Yeah.
And they usually have a food truck just about every single night. Siluria Brewing Company. If you don't know where they are, they're in the old Alabaster Post Office, 145 First Avenue West in Alabaster. We appreciate Danny Sample and everybody out there for their great support of us here at CRN. We appreciate it so much. And happy 4th of July to them. All right, before we get into any specific series, we want to get into this because we usually let you know about this. This is the fan voted upon awards, the ESPY Awards from ESPN. I don't even remember how many years they've been going now. This has got to be going on 30 at least, maybe more.
Yeah.
Either way, you can vote on it now at ESPN.com. We are really only worried about one category here because we're a racing show. It's the annual Best Driver category. In this case, and as it always is, it's a race between 4 drivers. The 4 drivers up for a bid on this one, so to speak. What am I? Bob Barker on The Price is Right? 2025 IndyCar champion Alex Palou. He is up against the hot out of the gate Cup driver Tyler Reddick and a pair of F1 drivers. Defending champion Lando Norris and hot young Mercedes driver Kimi Antonelli, who reeled off recently 5 wins and 5 straight poles, and as you noted just a moment ago, claimed the sprint race in Britain. Now, they didn't specifically note a cutoff date or time. One would think it would cut off kind of as late as possible, maybe just before showtime. That'll be Wednesday, July 15th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, live on ABC and the ESPN app for streamers. That's one of the 2 days out of the year. Welcome to the world of trivia, boys and girls. One of the 2 days of the year that none of the 4 major sports has a scheduled event. It's the day before and the day after Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. Major League Baseball's not in. NBA, NHL, NFL, all not in season.
So ESPYs is on a Monday night?
ESPYs is on a Wednesday. Home Run Derby will be on Monday, All-Star Game on Tuesday,
I
and
thought
then
you
the ESPYs
said
on Wednesday.
the day before. I misunderstood.
Well, no, but, again, no regular season game is scheduled on the Monday before or the Wednesday after the All-Star Game. Look it up. You can go check it out. Rain delays, they happen.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it goes. All right, so, good grief. This, we were kind of wondering about this because we were hearing rumors, and then last week we talked about this. And if reports are to be believed, and more reports from more and more reputable sources are coming out about this, basically with a similar, if not the same report, Arrow McLaren is going to look vastly different next year. Now, last week when we talked about Felix Rosenqvist, and he had told Meyershank Racing he was leaving, he was going to take a better opportunity, but nobody really knew where they were going. But we figured it was probably one of 2 teams, right? And you mentioned them. Well,
survey says
Bob Pockrass, no less than Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports and others, are now reporting that the 2027 3-car team that features Arrow McLaren Racing right now, and Christian Lundgaard, Pato O'Ward, and Nolan Siegel, will only be keeping Pato O'Ward.
Not a surprise. I'm not surprised with the award, but I'm a little bit surprised with Lundgaard because he's kind of toted the weight this year.
Yeah, Siegel, unfortunately, I'm not all that surprised with. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid, but he hasn't backed it up yet.
Yeah, I mean he's a good dude because he sat in the booth with us at Barber and did one of the NXT races.
Yeah,
and he kind of got through to the fire real quick.
I agree.
And I don't think he had the proper time to get developed and stable.
So here's where we start to get into the fun part of it. Who is set to replace Lundgaard and Siegel? Well, one of those is Felix Rosenqvist. Okay, not a surprise. We kind of figured that. The links were already there, right?
Yeah.
The other guy going in, this one's a much bigger surprise. Pockrass is reporting it's 6-time IndyCar champion Scott Dixon. You know, the guy who's been with Chip Ganassi Racing for a quarter century?
Yeah.
Oof. Now, again, we talked Rosenqvist last weekend. We said we thought it was interesting. We were going to wait for more reputable sources to report it, and, well, now they are. You had mentioned the possibility of Dixon, too, and I'm like, ooh, really? Doesn't make it any less surprising, though. I mean, again, think about this.
No, it is.
Dixon's been with Chip Ganassi Racing since 2002. All 6 of his IndyCar titles have come with him, not to mention the 2008 Indy 500 win. All coming with Chip Ganassi Racing. He's won at least one race every season in the series since 2005. Save this year so far.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time, and he will be a legitimate threat at Mid-Ohio.
Now,
he always is.
Yeah. Okay. And, I mean, we see moves late in careers. We've seen it done before. Mm-hmm. But it does seem surprising that a man who has been so vested and a team that's been so vested in him after a quarter century splits in the case of Scott Dixon and Chip Ganassi.
This would be like the equivalent if Jeff Gordon left Hendrick.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about just eye-popping.
Yeah. But the likely spot, I mean, with even Will Buxton even sitting saying that him going to Arrow McLaren is a 100% done deal, locked up, lock, stock, and barrel. They're just waiting to announce it.
Yeah.
There's 2 people that you have to give full, complete credit for pulling off a move like this. There's only 2.
Okay.
Considering that he's basically given the keys of the operation over. Zach Brown's given the keys of the operation.
It's hard to overlook that.
You've got to give a tip of the cap for pulling this off to Tony Kanaan and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Yeah. So congratulations to them. And here's the thing. If you're saying, it's, Bob Pockrass is reporting it, but it's just rumors. But wait, there's more. Chip Ganassi Racing offered up a statement that one might expect in a situation like this. Said all the right things. I do kind of wonder what's going on behind the walls of the headquarters because one would think that there's some upset people there. But the statement, which we're going to have producer John pop up on CRN Live on YouTube here if he hasn't already, it wraps up the expected words of this, quote, "Our focus is on finishing this season strong with the number 9 PNC team while also preparing for the future at Chip Ganassi Racing." And yes, that's saying all the right words, and you want to say that, and you want to say that they're going to fully back Scott Dixon all the way to the end, which is the right thing to do. Yeah. But I also do ask the question, now that you know he's kind of gone, are you really putting your full force behind it?
Honestly, no.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but
probably 75%.
Reality hits kind of hard.
Yeah. I mean, especially somebody that's been there as long as him and accomplished what he's accomplished.
And then he's out the door. And that does bring up the question. And I have heard some people say that there might be effectively a trade. Ganassi may turn his attention to Lundgaard. I don't know whether that's how much faith I put in that.
I don't see why he wouldn't, because right now, if you look at free agents or people that would be available for rides next year, you have to put him at the top.
Yeah. Of all the people that we know that are or are pending to be free agents, that's, it's a name that's up there. There ain't no doubt about it. But, we don't know. I can't think right offhand who he's got in the feeder series, who in any next that he might be thinking about.
Or does he make a similar move like this next team?
Go out and make a big splash right off the bat, or
they like
slide somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and since you mentioned it, Meyershank Racing, we talked about Felix Rosenquist. He's gone out of the 60 car, that big move announced last week. So what is Meyershank Racing to do? Well, their flagship car is the number 60 car, which, by the way, the Ozzy Osbourne channel on Sirius XM is back as the paint scheme this weekend. They've announced that what they've done is they have taken their driver of the number 66 car, Marcus Armstrong. They've signed him to a multi-year contract extension. He'll take over the 60 car next year, which means the 66 is now open.
Right. I could honestly see Chip Ganassi sliding over Kiffin Simpson to the 9 and putting somebody else in the 8. Simpson's been respectable this year.
True. He hasn't been burning it up, but he has been solid.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for that, because you take solid and that builds you a good foundation, and then you can start reaching for higher and higher.
Yeah.
So for a guy who was a rookie not that long ago, that's actually a good thing.
But if there is one name that if I could go get him out of Indy NXT, I would.
All right.
If I could go get him and bring him up and promote him to IndyCar from Indy NXT, I would go get Lockie Hughes.
Okay. We'll see.
He's been the most consistent in Indy NXT in my opinion.
Okay. Hey, it could happen. We'll find out. Yeah. We got a little ways to go here before even the end of the 2026 IndyCar season, and then silly season begins in earnest. All right, let's turn our attention here over real quickly. We'll kind of split this up between the IHRA and the NHRA. We'll turn our attention to drag racing here. And we'll lead off with the IHRA. And we think about the beginning of this year, and it started off with so much hope. And they had such a great schedule planned out. Really, really packed with a good number of events. But ever since the season started, it's just been trimmed down more and more and more. IHRA officially announced this week the cancellation of events at Dorana Dragway in Michigan, Empire Dragway in New York, Heartland Motorsports Park in Kansas, and most importantly for Matt and I, because we were actually thinking about going to this event, Atlanta Dragway in Georgia.
Memphis as well.
Yeah, so all of this means that the end of the 2026 season, if it holds as it is right now, it's going to finish with 3 races, one in each of the months of August, September, and October. And they are in order: Dragway 42 in Salem, Ohio, mid-August. Kind of an early-ish September weekend at Dorana Dragway, Maple Grove. And then the season finale set to be October 8th through the 10th at Dorana Motorsports Park in Benson, North Carolina.
This is kind of a head-scratcher.
And then there's the Triple Crown event that we still have yet to get to.
Maple Grove,
effectively, you've got 4 events.
The Triple Crowns at Maple Grove.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so you're still only dealing with 3 events, unless.
Yeah, and plus they trim back their powerboat schedule as well. So this is kind of a head scratcher.
It really is. Now, Atlanta, we could kind of surmise it, and I would say Kansas almost certainly, because we showed pictures of Kansas here on the Big Show, and you and I laid our eyes at Atlanta Dragway earlier this year.
I've seen Memphis several times too,
and then none of them were in good shape.
No.
So the amount of work that was going to need to be done in a very short period of time to be able to just get those facilities up into racing quality was going to be a big ask.
Topeka would be the easiest race-ready facility out of all of them.
Agreed. Yeah.
But
Memphis
from the sense of Atlanta and Memphis,
which Memphis looked like death warmed over, and for all intents and purposes, Atlanta might have been a out in the middle of nowhere small plane flight strip, because there's nothing else there.
Yeah, there is. But I can't remember the guy's name, but he was tied into the no at IHRA. And the situation they've got with Atlanta and Memphis is everybody knows how weather in the South in this time of the year, spring into this time of the year can be. They've had issues with weather.
Sure.
Being able to get things going like it needs to be.
Yeah.
So that's somewhat understandable.
It is. You and I, when we looked at it, we were like, we want to come here because we want to see what, the difference between now, and that was February, to when they were scheduled to run at the season finale. We wanted to see it.
Yeah.
But we talked about it as we were rolling on to Charlotte, North Carolina, and you and I both said we've got some concerns over that time frame.
Yeah. It was a tight time frame for sure.
Almost too tight.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, very much so too tight.
Yep.
So, hate it, but kind of understandable. This has, I hate to say this too, because honestly, I don't think that there are any, but this has led some people to wonder about the financial stability long term of the IHRA.
Well,
I'm less worried about that right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the stock car series has been untouched.
Yeah.
So they're leaving it alone because car counts and car turnout has been great
Right.
for that. There were, the last one they ran, I think it was in Anderson, South Carolina. They had 40 pro late models.
Okay.
Which
So-
is stout for a pro late model
It is.
field.
That's a stout number. So yeah, I'm not so worried about the long-term stability of the IHRA. I'll just be real honest with you. I think that they're going to be. I think they're, for lack of a better way of putting it, I think they're in good hands for the future. Certainly with the financial stability of Darrell Cuttle. You know, if this continues though, and this is a long term. This is a 1-year deal, okay? If this happens over the next couple of years, I might worry about that a little more.
We will be right back with more on the Championship Racing Network.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The American Red Cross has an urgent need for blood donors to roll up a sleeve to help make sure life-saving care isn't delayed for accident victims, surgery patients, and those facing critical treatments for cancer and chronic blood disorders. The Red Cross blood supply has dropped about 20% in recent weeks. There's no time to wait. Make an appointment today to give blood by using the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visiting redcrossblood.org, or calling 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule your donation. Take action and help save lives.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon?
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
If we continue to consume our natural resources at the rate we do now, by 2050, it could take 3 Earths to meet our needs. The Earth can't speak up when it needs help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
2 tires only, and back out to the track for more action on the Championship Racing Network.
Trying to get everything all set up here camera-wise. sometimes it ain't the easiest thing to do in the world. Just saying. Thank you very much for joining us here on this 4th of July edition of CRN. We do have a text question. I'm going to get to that here in just a moment because it's related to NASCAR. But it is going to be something to put our thinking caps on about. All right. Meantime, we turn our attention from the IHRA to the NHRA. Keep in mind that there are still 4 events left in the regular season for the NHRA, if you want to term it that way. But in the Pro Stock Motorcycle Division, 4 riders have already locked themselves into the countdown for the championship after last weekend. First 4 to qualify in any division so far this season. The riders that are in to the countdown are defending champion Richard Gadsden, his main rival, as it turns out his teammate too, Gage Herrera, and the husband and wife team of 6-time champion Matt Smith along with his wife Angie. This is interesting to note because, again, Pro Stock Car, Pro Stock Motorcycle, they don't run as many events as Top Fuel and Funny Car. Mm-hmm. Top Fuel and Funny Car run every single event of the season from the very beginnings all the way through to the countdown to the championship. Pro Stock Car, Pro Stock Motorcycle don't. But for Pro Stock Motorcycle to put 4 in and no other division has even 1, that says something.
Yeah, it says quite a bit for sure.
Now, here's the... No, it's not necessarily a fly in the ointment because this is something that we saw just within the last couple of years. Matt Smith hasn't actually been running. But Matt Smith, under the NHRA's driver replacement policy, has been earning points despite being sidelined since the NHRA's Potomac Nationals for medical reasons. He had gallbladder out.
Same identical thing I had.
Yeah. He's had some problems in the aftermath of that, and he's slated to return to the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis, if not before. U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis would be the final race before the countdown begins. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, how does this work, right? Well, this isn't like NASCAR or any of the other series. NHRA's driver replacement policy states that you can get a substitute driver, or in this case, rider, for up to 8 races, and the points will still be assigned to the primary driver and rider. We learned this when it came to John Forsman a couple of years ago in that accident that happened at Richmond, which unfortunately forced him to retire.
Yeah.
Another reminder is how drivers and riders qualify for the countdown to the championship. Obvious, finish in the top 10 in points after the U.S. Nationals in Indianapolis. Okay? There's another way. Or by being at every race through the season and making the minimum number of qualifying attempts, even if you don't make the final bracket at a percentage of the events. This all changes depending on the division, because obviously it depends on how many different events that they run throughout the course of the year. But there is a way to do it as long as you're attempting to qualify for effectively all of the events. Even if you don't make it, they'll give you credit for that. There is something to be said for that, considering these guys travel all over the country.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing to do. I mean, you get at least what I would call show-up points.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's the 2 ways, and Matt Smith is in, despite the fact that he hasn't run the last few races. Yeah. All right. Let's turn our attention to the Cup Series here. Let's talk 2 things here. First of all, something for you to ruminate on. And I've asked this question. I've asked for some clarification from Taylor. Taylor has asked the question, what would be your top 5 NASCAR paint schemes of all time? Now, is this the regular, practically always run paint scheme, or are we talking about specialty schemes? But I will admit, the first 2 that immediately came to mind for me are specialty. Mm-hmm. They were run only 1 time each, as I can remember. But there is one out there that does stick out, I would say actually 2, that come out as sticking out to me. So I just need to come up with a 5th. So think about that for a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Second thing, Chicagoland. It's 2026. Last time we raced on that track, 7 years ago? 2019?
2019.
And let's face it, Chicago is not exactly what anybody would call calm when it comes to weather.
No, that was proven yesterday.
Yeah. So this is obviously a weathered track. It's got, what would the drivers call it? It's got personality?
Character.
Character. There you go.
It's got character.
So without us really knowing what to expect here, what are the drivers saying? And yesterday, a lot of weather again. up there, despite this heat dome that we've been talking about that's, covering the basic eastern half of the country here.
Yeah, and Chicago's on on the western part of the heat dome where everything's revolving around it.
Yeah, and they got a deluge of rain. But they were able to get out on the track for a little bit.
Yeah, they got the full practice in.
Okay, what do the Cup Series drivers have to say about Chicagoland?
It's got, like you said, there's a ton of character in it because there's a couple of not bumps, there's a couple of jumps.
Sure.
There's some where the track is settled around some of the tunnel areas. Some pretty good bumps, but one thing that was striking to me out of a collaboration of things I've read is that the characteristic from old Atlanta has came back from the dead.
And you want to talk about the drivers loving old Atlanta before they got repaved and reconfigured. They like it now. Don't get me wrong. They like the new Atlanta, but man, they loved old Atlanta. The problem was this is just that track couldn't stay together anymore.
Yeah, I mean it made you go elbows up.
Yeah. But when your track surface is starting to come apart under the G-forces or the forces that are being put on it by the Cup Series cars, it's time. They're not quite there yet with Chicagoland.
No, Chicago's still in pretty decent shape.
Okay. So the drivers basically are saying they like it, they want to keep it?
For the most part, yeah.
Take heed, NASCAR. Chicagoland might be one of the best places out there. These guys love 1.5 mile tri-ovals. This car loves 1.5 mile tri-ovals.
Yeah.
Maybe the best racing currently in the Gen 7 car is at those tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get a track that's got a lot of personality, causes the drivers to be up on the wheel, constantly having to pay attention. Mm-hmm. If you get the driver's attention, you're golden, I think, personally.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
So we shall see how exactly this translates into on track. Because it was kind of funny. There was the bad side of the coin of the old Atlanta. Mm-hmm. In that, especially before the Gen 7 car came around. And the Gen 7 car has a bunch of faults, don't get us wrong. But it really did strengthen the 1.5 mile tri-oval. Easily the best racing of the current generation of car. But the problem with the old Atlanta was if you got out front, you were gone.
And then some.
And then it became Formula One like procession. And you had a hard time getting around somebody else.
It was actually almost like in some cases that the racing was better in dirty air than it was in clean air.
Yeah. So a lot of that with the repave and the reconfiguration helped that. Now, I'm not calling for an automatic repave, and I'm certainly not calling for a reconfiguration of Chicagoland.
No.
If you have to pave it, then pave it. If you have to pave it, pave it. But don't change the configuration of the track.
But
we don't need another Atlanta, is another way of putting it.
But as stiff and as rigid as these cars are, especially in the suspension, if you have to grind down those bumps areas, do it.
Yeah.
If you have to.
That might be another way to just kind of make the track surface last a little bit longer.
Yeah, because you can see in turn one, especially where one of the main bad bumps are. And when they rescan Chicagoland for iRacing, that bump is there, and it is substantial, very substantial. But they zoomed in yesterday when I was watching a little bit of practice, and where that bump is, it's so bad enough you can see where the cars are bottoming out on the bump before they apex into the corner.
You hit that thing wrong, man. You're spinning.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a wreck or two in turn one.
All right. So that brings us to after the round of 32 for NASCAR's in-season bracket challenge. Now, upsets, as one might figure at a Sonoma, abounded. It included, for the second year in a row, the 32 seed unseating the number 1 seed. This time it was Alex Bowman taking out Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick not having a good couple of weeks on a road course and a street course, which is unusual because he's usually very good on those.
Well, Sonoma was a parts malfunction.
Yeah, but still, 25 seed Todd Gilliland got the better of Daniel Suarez, so Suarez is out. 20 seed Michael McDowell ousted 13 seed Bubba Wallace. So,
I did the bracket challenge on NASCAR.com.
Did you?
I missed 2. I got all of them but 2.
By the way, for the ESPN.com, for NASCAR.com's bracket challenge, I think is what they said. NASCAR.com came out and said after week 1, 0 perfect brackets left.
Everybody had
It
Reddick.
took 1 week.
Everybody had Reddick going, I guarantee you.
And truth be told, in running it down in our mind, we had the same thing. Yeah. I kind of thought Reddick was going to beat, and all things being equal, it probably would have been that way, but who knows?
The only two I missed Reddick and Bowman, and then I missed Jones and Logano.
Gotcha. All right. So here we go. Here are the matchups going into Chicagoland. The now currently highest seeded driver, Denny Hamlin, the 2 seed, taking on 15 seed Eric Jones.
Should be a win.
Should be a win for Denny Hamlin. That being said, don't overlook what Legacy MC's been starting to do lately, and especially those 1.5 mile trials.
That's why I use the word should very, very loosely.
3 seed Ryan Blaney taking on the 14 seed SVG. Should be Ryan Blaney. Should be.
To a kid that's like a nephew to me, he is the biggest Ryan Blaney fan I know of. Landon, I'm sorry. I'm calling an upset.
You're going to go SVG?
I'm calling an upset.
Okay. We'll do one more here. 4 seed Chase Elliott taking on 20 seed Michael McDowell.
Should be Elliott.
Yeah, should be. I agree. All right, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 16 seed matchups. We'll talk about those as we get into the second half. Tyler, hang on for us. I have 4 of my 5.
I've got 2.
All right. So we got a break here. We got the rest of Cup Series news to talk about, and then we'll take it on and see if we can't figure out our top 5 paint schemes. I'm just going to combine it. Could be a specialty paint scheme, maybe only showed up one time, maybe even for just an all-star race. Could be a regular paint scheme. We'll talk about that. By the way, let us know. You can call or text 205-545-9950. Hour number 2 on deck for this July 4th edition of CRN.
Coach Nick Saban.
Helping children is very important to Miss Terry and me. As parents, it saddens us to know that there are more than 5,000 children in foster care in Alabama. These children need loving, nurturing families to care for them. We ask you to join the team and become champions for children by opening your heart, opening your home, and becoming a foster or adoptive parent.
For more information, call 1-866-4AL-KIDS. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket, may be tough. BenefitsCheckup.org is a free website that helps you pay for food, medicine, and more. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org.
Fuel only. Go, go, go. We're back to the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome back in. Hour number 2 just getting underway here on this July 4th. I'm Steve West along with Matt Nicholson, producer John Myers on CRN Live on YouTube. Maybe you're checking us out on Talk 99.5, Real Talk 99.5 TV on YouTube as well. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out, however it is that you're looking at us or listening to us. We're talking about going into the in-season challenge and the seeds here. We are pretty much in agreement Denny Hamlin should beat Eric Jones. I think Ryan Blaney will beat SVG. You disagree?
I'm taking the upset on this one.
Okay. We both agree Chase Elliott probably will beat Michael McDowell. That puts us to the 5-seed matchup. Teammates taking on each other here. Ty Gibbs is your 5 seed. He's taking on 12-seed Chase Briscoe.
Gibbs in a walk-off.
Walk-off?
Gibbs has had more consistency so far than Briscoe has.
Okay. All right. I kind of wonder whether that 12 seed's starting to get a little bit hot because this is about the time that they started getting warm last year, too.
True.
And as much as I would love to root for that 19 team to beat that 54, a lot of it depends upon qualifying for me. But I kind of tend to agree with you. I kind of give a slight edge to Gibbs. I don't know if it's a walk-off, but we'll see.
Gibbs yesterday was in the 1 hour practice. Gibbs yesterday was 5th. Briscoe was 14th.
So they need to find a little bit. Okay. Your 6 seed is Kyle Larson. He's taking on the number 11 seed William Byron. Speaking about teammate versus teammate at Hendrick.
5-ball corner pocket.
Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with that. 7 seed Chris Buescher is going up against Christopher Bell. I forgot to get his seed number. That's my bad.
Bell is shoot. I can't remember his seed number either.
This one's kind of tough. I'm thinking I might choose the slight upset here. I might go Christopher Bell.
I'm gonna take Buescher.
Okay. See, we're not disagreeing on that one. 9 seed is Carson Hocevar. He's taking on 25 seed Todd Gilliland.
Hocevar.
I would tend to agree with that. Hocevar does have this innate ability to overdrive a car, though. So there's a slight chance of an upset here. I don't think it would necessarily surprise me a whole lot if Gilliland beat Hocevar, but Hocevar should win it. Let's put it that way.
He should, but with a track nobody's been on in 7 years, with a car that's not been on that racetrack.
And neither one of these two drivers have.
I think the slate is clean.
Okay. And that brings us to 16 seed versus 32 seed Austin Cindric taking on Alex Bowman.
32 seed stands.
Considering the inconsistency of really not just Austin Cindric, but Ford. I hate to put it that way, but it's true. I kind of see where you're going with that.
32 seed rolls on because the guy that's in the 32 seed was your last winner at Chicagoland.
That's also true, yeah. But again, that was 7 years ago. We'll see. All right, silly season is underway. A couple of notable moves. The big one might be the number 48 at Hendrick Motorsports, though.
Bale is the 10 seed.
10 seed, thank you very much. Alex Bowman happens to be in the last year of his current 3-year deal, and under normal circumstances, Hendrick Motorsports is not willing to wait too long to lock things down for their quartet of racers. So the question is what to expect here, and this is another kind of reason why I'm thinking Alex Bowman may be the guy to watch out for throughout this, really the remainder of the season. He's driving for his future.
Yeah, he really is.
And if it's not going to be in the 48 car, he's certainly wanting to impress other car owners and say, hey, hire me.
Sure, yeah.
Bowman, of course, suffered vertigo earlier this year, caused him to miss a couple of races. He said things haven't really yet been discussed, but he did note this, quote, "It's been interesting. Obviously, we've had a lot of different conversations, kind of trying to figure out the best thing to do. So I would say sooner rather than later for sure, but I guess I haven't thought about it."
In my opinion, the one thing that's working against him is that vertigo. Because it can hit you at any given time when you least expect it.
And there's no, lack of a better term, cure for it.
No, because I have spells with it, and it is not fun.
Yeah. So,
it's not fun.
Yeah, if there's a question mark or an exclamation point, whichever you wish to put it, that's probably it.
Yeah.
And Hendrick Motorsports, again, he likes to get things settled and locked down long term if he can do it. So I kind of am in agreement with Bowman. I think you'll find out sooner rather than later, either way.
Right.
And here's the deal. This is going to be rip the Band-Aid off. If we find out Alex Bowman's not going to be in that 48 car next year, I can almost guarantee you that's going to come with a statement from Hendrick Motorsports about who will be in that car.
Yeah, but there's one that they try to say that could take it that is not ready. Corey Day. He's not ready.
No, he needs a little more seasoning.
A lot more.
Yeah.
He's about that same level as Brent Cruz. He needs at least another year.
At least one more year?
At least one more year.
I might go 2. Brent Cruz seems to me, yes, he's young, don't get me wrong, but Brent Cruz seems a little bit more ready than Corey Day.
And he's dipped his toes into a cup car already at San Diego, but still, that doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
I've got my 5.
Okay, we'll get to it. Let's get done with the Cup Series news here. Let's see, where are we? Garage 56. They announced yesterday as we air live on this Saturday, July 4th. They were forced to withdraw from tomorrow's Cup Series race at Chicagoland because they were not able to secure a sponsor for Josh Bilicki's effort. In their statement, the team noted, quote, "We're sad to miss out on NASCAR's July 4th weekend, but we look forward to the number 66 returning very soon." This is a part-time team. They are legitimately relying on race-to-race sponsorship to be able to go.
They are.
So I hate it for them, but I understand it at the same time.
True.
I don't know whether these are going to be collectible or not. It's a good question. But if
they're
you're
already in stores, I've seen some.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Red Bull, but you're also, or maybe you're just a fan of either one of their 2 NASCAR drivers, maybe both, Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilisch, Circle K stores are going to get these first. Then they're going to start coming out on Monday in full force in 2 different sizes, 8.4 ounces and 12 ounces. Connor Zilisch gets who is the shorter of the 2, gets the smaller 8.4 ounce can. SVG gets the taller 12 ounce can. Not that I think that that's the reason they chose that, but it does seem interesting to note it.
Yeah.
Again, I asked the question, are these going to be collectible? Now, for fans, generally, probably yes, but in general terms, for just the public, probably not. I'm thinking they're going to have a pretty large production number of cans that could run into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, worldwide.
I've seen them already in our local Circle K in Oxford on a display.
Okay.
They're not in a cooler. They're on a display.
Like I said, Circle K was going to get them first. Then they'll start rolling out really on a much wider scale starting on Monday.
Yeah.
Then there's this. If you're heading to Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400, you might want to check out the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Now, whether or not you liked him when he was racing or not, there is no denying Jeff Gordon has a place in NASCAR history. He is a 4-time Cup Series champion. He's got 93 Cup Series wins to his credit, and he claimed the first ever Brickyard 400. All of this prompted the IMS Museum to set up a display about Gordon. It's going to show his entire racing career going back to its very beginnings of driving quarter midgets up through sprint cars and into stock car racing. And remember, yes, he was born in California, but he was raised in Indiana. So he's kind of a hometown kid. They at least adopted him. 13 cars spanning his entire racing career are going to be on display, including a 1985 sprint car, the winning cars from the Brickyard 400 initial win, also winning cars from the Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600. There will also be some never-before-shown artifacts. First ever win trophy, which he got in a bicycle race in 1976. The fire suit from his first sprint car win in 1986. The F1 steering wheel that he used when he and Juan Pablo Montoya swapped cars, which happened in Indianapolis back in 2003. And then there are some 70 helmets that he used in his career, along with rings, trophies, jackets, and more that span his entire career. Sounds like a pretty inclusive and detailed display.
It'd be something that I would like to see.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and again, whether you liked him or not, and I get it, there are people that just cannot stand Jeff Gordon. Understood.
Yeah. I've seen the cars. I've seen them at the Hendrick Museum.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's probably where they're getting
sure.
loan from. But the other stuff, like the sprint car and the helmets and stuff, I'd really like to see those and more.
And who the heck keeps a bicycle trophy? A bicycle race win trophy?
Probably his parents.
That's just wild. I never would have thought about keeping a bicycle race trophy from 1976.
Yeah, probably his parents.
Podcasts are all over the place. Hey, we got one right here. It's our own award-winning, in case you hadn't heard about it, Cross Flags, the reigning champion of the Abby Awards for the best state of Alabama podcast. Yes, we're tooting our own horn. Now Ryan Blaney's getting in on the act. He's got one that he is entitling On the Gas with Ryan Blaney. What separates this out? Well, each Wednesday this month, it actually started on the 1st, Ryan Blaney's going to take celebrities around a racetrack. Among the people that are going to be riding along, comedian actor Keegan-Michael Key, former NFL player Chad Johnson, you might remember him as Chad Ochocinco, YouTube creators Weston Champlin and The Stradman, two people who I've never heard of. And not
I haven't either.
While Blaney's driving him around at high speed, he's going to have them talking about things. I saw a clip with Keegan-Michael Key, and he's going back to his time on Key and Peele, and he's trying to remember some of the characters from the East-West All-Star College game, if you remember that bit. And Ryan Blaney, of course, being Ryan Blaney, he's going out by the wall, and it's freaking Keegan-Michael Key out. It's pretty funny. So they kind of get an idea of what a NASCAR ride-along experience is with an actual NASCAR driver. Opens their eyes to what these drivers do 38 times when they strap themselves into a cup car. It's presented by Body Armor Sports Drink, produced by NASCAR Studios. If it's popular enough, they say a second run of episodes will be produced.
Doing it in probably some of the weakest cars you could do a ride-along in I've ever seen.
Sure. Yeah, I understand that to a certain extent. There's two things at work here. Number one, we don't want to give Ryan Blaney anything that he can use, so to speak. Yeah. And number two, we're just trying to have some fun with celebrities. We're not literally trying to make them do stuff that, well, we can't talk about here on this radio station.
True.
How's that? We'll put it that way. Yeah. All right, so let's get back to the question here, which was from Taylor. What are our top 5 all-time NASCAR paint schemes? And I said basically we were going to combine the two. Yep. And Taylor has put his 5 in. Wood Brothers, number 21. Kind of hard to argue that. It's a classic look.
Yep.
Number 4, Davey Allison's Daytona 500 win paint scheme. Okay. Number 3, Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft paint scheme. That's the black one, if I remember right.
Yes.
Number 2, Brad Keselowski White Miller Lite. Okay. Number 1, the classic Dale Sr. Black number 3.
I'll put the disclaimer out on mine.
Go for it.
I'm leaving, but because it's the obvious classic scheme, I left Dale Earnhardt out of mine.
Yeah,
that's not meaning that it's not one of my top ones. I left it out because that's the dead obvious one.
Sure, yeah, and I got to admit, it's not sitting in my top 5 either.
Yeah, because it's a dead obvious one, just like a Richard Petty scheme's not in mine either because it's dead obvious, iconic.
I can't say that I didn't put a Richard Petty in there.
Go ahead.
All right, I'll do my number 5. How about we'll just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You and me trading off, okay?
Okay.
Speaking of a classic look, number 5, Gray Ghost, number 28.
That is a classic look.
Love that Oldsmobile. Love that Oldsmobile. Ask your grandparents, kids about Oldsmobile.
My 5th, Kyle Petty Mellow Yellow.
Remember it well. Yeah. Okay. Number 4, kind of like where Taylor went, the Davey Allison look, that Texaco look that he had with that 28 car, the white front end with the just the chrome look on the numbers. Sorry, that look.
The Battlebird scheme.
Yeah. To me, I get it. They changed it after Davey died, and they needed to, kind of like what they did with Kevin Harvick after Dale Earnhardt died. They needed to change it, but I'm sorry. That look with Davey Allison with that white look on the front end, man, that thing was just sharp.
Yep, the Battlebird scheme.
Yeah.
My 4th one is going to be Bill Elliott's Coors Light blue scheme that he ran in 1991.
I remember that one. Yeah, back when the Thunderbirds were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Run only one time. Number 3. It raced at Richmond. The Tony Stewart opposite Home Depot look. It used to be all the orange with the black highlights. They made one that was black with the orange highlights. I got that car in diecast form and is one of my prized of the diecast collection.
Yep.
Love that look. Wish they had run it more.
And as a part of my disclaimer, I said that the obvious Dale Earnhardt car, iconic,
sure,
got left out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that's pretty much understood.
But my 3rd one is a Dale Earnhardt scheme.
Okay, go for it.
The Atlanta 1996 All-Star car.
Is that the American flag look?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Remember it. Okay, so you picked a Dale Earnhardt. I picked a specific Richard Petty one because it's the iconic picture. The Richard Petty STP look, 1984 Firecracker 400. His final win, that picture, him going down the backstretch at Daytona, Air Force One landing at the Daytona airport right behind it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. You want to talk about not just within NASCAR, but one of the most iconic pictures in sports history.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you don't have a fence or stands blocking the view of the plane.
Exactly. And to me, that STP car, the Air Force One in the background, it's perfect. Number two is another one that is one of those that is a no-brainer to me. Okay.
Jeff Gordon's DuPont Rainbow car.
Hard to beat. I also didn't include that because it seemed kind of almost normal, if you want to put it that way, because I went specialty paint scheme on number one. DW, that all chrome look that he broke out that one year for the Daytona 500. I'm sorry. That's just, you want to talk about everybody sitting up and going, wow.
Yep.
That car did it.
Yep.
So, yeah, those are my top five. Your number one?
Wait a minute, you're only on two.
Richard Petty was number two.
Oh, Petty was two. Okay. My number one, and a lot of people's going to scratch their heads on this one.
Okay.
But the reason I picked this one is because I've always thought this was a clean look of a car.
Okay.
And it was so easily identifiable. That's what made it clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter who drove it. Because the likes of Rick Wilson, Ernie Irvan, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Hamilton, those guys drove the car. The Morgan McClure Kodak number 4 scheme.
Heritage car, no doubt about it. I mean, think about it. Morgan McClure's now all but gone. Kodak is all but gone.
Yep.
You know, and the 4 car, well, it's changed. The number 4 has changed hands on a few occasions. Wow. Yeah. So there you go, Taylor. Hopefully that helped you out. 205-545-9950 if you got a text thing. Want to throw something out like that or just have a comment, by all means, put it on there. We appreciate it. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series news here. Joe Gibbs Racing, Taylor Gray, they've come to terms on a contract extension, so he's not going anywhere. It's going to keep Gray in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series number 54 Toyota at least through next year. Now, keep this in mind. Gray is 20 years old. He's a third-generation racer. He's raced for Joe Gibbs Racing from 2024 to now. His first year, that 2024 season, technically part-time. He was full-time last year in this. Here's the deal. Again, Toyota is top-heavy.
This is one of those situations where it's a logjam right now.
Yeah, Toyota's top-heavy. There is no place for him to go. Now, after next year, we expect slight movement because Denny Hamlin keeps insisting he's going to be done as a full-time Cup Series racer after next year, which opens up the 11 car, but he has already all but named his replacement, and it ain't Taylor Gray, it's Brent Cruz. Now, I get this. Joe Gibbs has the final say in this, or maybe it's Heather by that point in time. I don't know. But I'd be shocked.
I honestly don't think it's going to be all Gibbs. I think it's a 50-50 split between Toyota and Gibbs.
Okay. But I'd be shocked if Denny Hamlin's prediction isn't correct and that it's not going to be Taylor Gray.
Pretty sure I said Brent Cruz before Denny Hamlin even said
Yeah. I mean, Brent Cruz seems to be the 11 driver heir apparent.
True.
Now, can things change? Yes. But this is a holdover. There may be some movement made at Joe Gibbs' sister operation, which Denny Hamlin's obviously very familiar with because he co-owns it with Michael Jordan, 2311. Then there's also Legacy MC. They're set to get a third car. And I got to admit, I don't know the contract status of their 2 current drivers. Plus, they have yet to technically announce who their third driver is going to be.
That's all but going to be Riley Herbst.
It seems more than likely so. And that brings up the question, how long of a leash does Riley Herbst have? Sponsorship is great, but it only gets you so far if you're not actually performing on the track.
That is true. I'm going to say if Herbst has got a 12-link chain leash that is well, if you got a normal leash, it's 12 links on the chain, and his is 12. I'm going to say his is 8.
So he's whittled it down by 4. So his leash is getting shorter.
It's 30% shorter.
So has Taylor? All right, let's ask it from the Taylor Gray side of things. Has Taylor Gray progressed enough for you to think maybe after 2027, if the progression continues, he's beginning to earn his way into a Cup car?
Based off of my qualifications and my rule that I would use for promotion, by the end of next year, I could see him having 5 wins.
And judging by your previous set for qualifications, that should qualify him for a Cup car.
I would say so, yes.
Okay. We shall see. Taylor Gray, though, he's definitely set between from now through next year at least. IndyCar driver running NASCAR. We've wondered why we haven't seen it more. We're about to see another IndyCar driver step into a NASCAR Truck Series entry. Details next.
Stay right here for more on the Championship Racing Network.
Damage from hurricanes is devastating and traumatic. After these storms, dishonest contractors show up, hoping to make a
Four tires and 2 cans of fuel, and we're back to more racing action on the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome back in here. Steve West, Matt Nicholson, producer John Myers on the CRN Live on YouTube feed. And, of course, there's Real Talk 99.5 on YouTube as well. Thank you for checking us out on this July 4th holiday weekend. Make it a safe one, too, would you please? Come Monday morning, we'd like you to still have all 10 fingers and 10 toes. And both hands and both feet.
Yep.
And both legs and both arms. And a head.
Yep.
It'd be good. And I think your
life?
family would like it, too.
How about your life?
There you go. I think your family would like it, too. It is July 4th. There are a lot of places that are closed. One of our great fine sponsors, though, is always open just about every single Saturday, and that includes today. It's Cat and Bird Winery. They got a lot of things going on here over the next week or so, by the way. Let me see. My wife, who works there, hint. She let me know on a couple of things here. So here we go. Open today, noon to 6. Food truck's going to be there noon to 3. Live music is going to be on hand. Stuart Douglas, the performer, from 1 to 4. Monday night, not usually open on Monday night, but it is USA in the round of 16. So they're going to be open for a USA soccer party, watch party. Doors will open at 5:30. Match will start at 7. Free admission for that. And then if you've ever been interested in line dancing, they've got a line dancing class. Friday night, doors open 5:30. Free admission for that as well. I won't be able to be there because I'll be at our other great sponsor, Solaria Brewing Company, doing trivia. Which, by the way, we did that on Wednesday this past week. Fantastic turnout. Thank you very much for everybody for coming out. Appreciate it.
Nice.
Cat and Bird Winery, 11661 Old Highway 280 in Chelsea. Was also told to make sure that you understand this. Yes, we told you about Solaria Brewing Company being closed. If you love their beer, the offerings that Cat and Bird Winery has come from Solaria Brewing Company.
Sweet.
So you have an option.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yep.
Noon to 6. I'll be down there. Probably noon-ish, truth be told. Hope to see you there. By the way, don't forget, if you let them know you heard about it right here on CRN, 10% off. 10% off your order. Got to find Matt, though. Let him know. All right. Let's see here. Matt got thrilled, by the way, a couple of weeks ago. First person that came in, this was about 4 weeks ago now. First person came in, said, wanted to find my wife. And I've made no bones about it. My wife's name is Karen. And she has worked there now basically since the beginning of it. Lady came running in going, heard about it on CRN, need to talk to Karen. Got to find Karen. Matt was thrilled. Took a picture with her. It was good stuff. All right, let's see here. We are last bit of the Truck Series news here. Freedom Racing Enterprises. How appropriate for this weekend. The owner is Spencer Boyd, driver owner. Announced this week he was grabbing IndyCar driver Lewis Foster to put him in the number 76 truck when the series heads to Connecticut to run their final road course of the race, road course race of the season at Lime Rock Park, which is what, next weekend?
Yes.
Droplight, who was already a sponsor of the race team, and they've been a sponsor of Foster's as well at Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing, so they put the 2 and 2 together, came up with 4, and Lewis Foster is going to be in the number 76 truck.
This one raised my eyebrow really high.
It does seem, it seems an odd choice because of all the people within the IndyCar world that have talked about the possibility of doing NASCAR, Lewis Foster's name has never come up.
Yeah. The one reason it raised my eyebrow up is because Louis Foster drives a Honda in IndyCar.
True. Yeah.
76 truck is a Chevrolet.
Which is the competitor in IndyCar.
Yeah. And with all the others that are out there, I'm going, huh?
Uh-huh. It seems an odd choice, but this has got to be Droplight.
And this one, yeah, it's got to be Droplight throwing a lot of money out there. Like, hey, put him in the car, truck. I mean, but one move that was, I think it was announced Thursday, that honestly really took me back and surprised me because he ran admirably well at St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Spire is not bringing him back for Lime Rock. Spire is not putting James Hinchcliffe back in the truck for Lime Rock.
Who are they going with?
Parker Kligerman.
Which is a solid choice. Don't get us wrong.
It's solid. Because Parker Kligerman, I think, is one of the partners of the ownership group of Lime Rock. Go figure.
Doesn't hurt.
And colleague is bringing back Colin Brown for the 25 truck.
I could see that.
That was a logical decision. because
Right.
he gave them the first top 10 at St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
But I would have went and gotten James Hinchcliffe.
It would have grabbed It would have grabbed more headlines, with all due respect. I mean,
Yeah.
truth be told, I didn't have the Parker Kligerman note here. You know, to me, that was just kind of like, okay, yeah, Parker Kligerman is back in the truck. Congratulations.
Yeah,
and I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong, but to me, it doesn't move the needle that much.
And no, I mean, considering it's
He's a regular fill-in. He's
fire truck.
Yeah.
77.
He's a regular fill-in. He is that guy that you kind of turn to if you need a driver. Parker Kligerman's probably some guy that you're going to at least pick up the phone and call and go, hey, you interested?
Sure.
You know, I say it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't move the needle news-wise. Let's go back to what I just said, what you and I both agreed on. He's a solid driver. You're looking for a solid driver who is a good threat to put your truck, if the truck is good enough, top 15, top 10, maybe even top 5. Parker Kligerman's your guy.
And quite honestly, I think probably one of the odds-on favorites right now, in my opinion, for the race is probably going to be the one that's not talked about the most.
It's probably true, yeah.
Thomas Annunziata that's going to drive for Tricon.
Yeah.
He's a lights-out road racer.
Yeah. And I mean, I hate to say this because what Spencer Boyd is dealing with over there as the driver-owner, you want to talk about severe growing pains. These trucks are not performing up to what Spencer Boyd would like. I'm not so certain that I could look at either of the Freedom Enterprises trucks and think that either one of them are a threat.
No. I mean,
and again, I hate to say it.
The kid that drove it from the MX5 Cup Series that had those races with it, I mean, he held his own and was running well. I mean, San Diego, he was in the top 5, but he got hit and wrecked.
Yeah. And considering the fact that there's probably been little to no experience for Louis Foster in a truck, period, in a NASCAR stock car, period.
Full-fendered car, period.
What can Louis Foster bring and tell the team, hey, this is where you're missing something?
Nothing on that part. I think they're more looking for, one, I hate to word it this way, but they're taking the check that Drop Light's bringing, one.
Yeah.
2, they're looking for a spark to get an unexpected top 12 finish.
Yeah. Because, let's face it, he's come up. He's very used to road course and street course racing, so he does know that, at least. We'll give him that.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go, Formula One. I wonder how many digs I can get in. There are growing pains, and then there's whatever you want to term this Cadillac situation, whatever they're going through. Remember after Spain a couple of weeks ago, and despite recent brake issues, the team was upbeat. Sergio Perez telling media at that time that the team knew what needed to be worked on. Unfortunately, whatever they brought didn't work in Austria. They didn't work on the brakes. Both drivers suffered brake issues early on. Both cars were retired by lap 4. One of the two actually had the brake system on fire.
Yeah.
Ugh. Perez said after his short run in the race, quote, "It's been a very frustrating weekend for the whole team to have these issues. I expect a massive internal discussion on our processes and how we're doing things because we have to step up because we cannot have these sort of issues." He continued on by saying, of course it's frustrating, but the most frustrating thing is not to see progress. We've always expected these things to occur to a new team, obviously, but I think the frustration comes from the lack of progress. So I'm sure that this upgrade will help us to understand a lot of these efficiencies, and I do expect a massive step forward in reliability going to Silverstone. So he's saying they have figured out a brake situation between Spain and now, when just last week both cars suffered brake issues, with one of them absolutely going ablaze. You figured it out in a week?
Probably one of those. Probably that's code word for one of those situations to where it was so foolproof of a problem that it was so dead obvious what the problem was.
Okay.
There's probably a fix that was just like that.
It better be for their case.
And here's another.
It better be.
And this is a personal opinion right here for me. Here's another problem of what Cadillac's having, I think.
Okay.
They didn't hire who they should have hired for team principal and let the team principal build the team up around how he would want to build it.
And the guy that you are referring to that they did hire, Graham Loudon, he does have F1 experience, but all of his F1 experience, for all intents and purposes, as a team principal, came from a back marker organization.
Bingo. They should have, and they had the money to do it.
You want to talk about a team having money. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cadillac.
They should have went and got Christian Horner.
You want to talk about popping eyes. That would have done it.
Yeah, would have done it.
Absolutely would have done it.
TWG's got the money to do it.
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, if TWG Group can put F1 team, an IndyCar team, and a NASCAR team on track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they could have easily hired Christian Horner.
TWG is the primary financial source for Spire Motorsports.
Yeah, they could have easily done it. But I will say this. Cadillac does have kind of a wry sense of humor, as they should. Today, being the 4th of July, vast majority of the people in and around the U.S. feeling a bit, if not a lot, of American pride. And there are some who aren't, but that's a story for another show, and this is a racing program, so we're not talking about them. Cadillac is feeling it too, and, well, since they're in Britain, they're going to shove it right in the face of the Brits.
And now, Steve's turn.
Yeah. They have decided to take their cars, which have been largely black and white, gray and white, whatever, and they're adorning them in full red, white, and blue with the full American flag look at the British Grand Prix. Now, let me repeat that for a moment for those who have chosen to or have just flat forgotten our history. Let's go back to July 4th, 1776. 250 years ago. What we're celebrating today, we signed that little document called the Declaration of Independence. We wanted to split off from the rule of Britain. Remember that lesson from school or, I don't know, Schoolhouse Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Look up that one on YouTube, kids. You can see the look right now on CRN Live on YouTube, and I got to admit, I got a kick out of the fact that I'm rooting for this American team, no doubt about it, on July 4th weekend.
Well, they better find about 70 seconds worth of speed.
They need a lot of help, though, man. Gosh, they need a lot of help. But, man, I love that look. And the fact that they're running it at the British Grand Prix
it's
is,
a sharp
to
car.
me, it's just
a sharp car.
It's just a... but it is. Yeah, it's a sharp car. And we'll look for it in the back.
That Catarari, what I call it.
Yeah. Again, still got to figure out how they're going to get 2028 is the earliest prediction. I'm thinking probably more 2029 for the actual Cadillac power plant to be the one that they're going to run. Let's go, boys. Figure it out. As for Cadillac's driver in waiting, Colton Herta, he's not really faring much better in Formula 2. Now, he is running in Formula 2 this year as opposed to IndyCar because they're trying to get him valuable experience in the feeder series. Cadillac is hoping that he can also get the necessary super license points to get that F1 license as well. However, the 9-time IndyCar Series winner doesn't appear to be adjusting well. He is currently 15th in points at the midway point of the F2 season. He is upbeat. He noted that so far the weak point has been qualifying. Well, at least you know what it is. He does have a top 5, but it came in a sprint race at Barcelona. Herta, grading himself, told media this week, quote, "I wouldn't grade my season so far very highly at all. It's been disappointing from that side of things. We just need to continue to improve and make the small steps. Obviously, as a racing driver, I want to compete for wins, poles, and podiums. We've been close, but qualifying has been the Achilles heel for us at the moment. So I think if we can sort that out, our pace has been much better than our qualifying pace. So that's goal number 1 right now. If we improve that and kind of build on it, hopefully we can wrap up the season a little bit stronger." Now, the top 10 in Formula 2 do get super license points. Herta was only, 1 or 2 points away from getting his F1 super license?
It was just a handful.
15th ain't going to do it. But he is doing a certain number of practices, and if you do a certain number of FP1 practices in Formula 1 throughout the course of a season, that also gets you like a point or 2. So I think he's just going to eke by in getting that F1 super license by the end of the year. He's further away than I thought? How far is he?
He only has 31.
And he needs 40. He needs 9. Okay. He's further away than I thought. Yeah, even with the practices, I don't think that's going to... He's got to get that car. That team and he have to get that car into the top 10. And I'm saying well into the top 10.
He's got to.
Along with those practice sessions.
He's got to finish higher than... He's got to finish 8th or higher.
And that would get him... That would get him solely the number of points?
That would get him. That's what it says.
I don't know. That maybe they can find something. I mean, I'd like to think so. Because here's the thing:
I found something updated.
Okay, but the amount of money that Cadillac is investing in their team and investing in Colton Herta in taking him over there and getting him that Formula 2 ride, that's a severe investment on the part of Cadillac. Again, you mentioned it; they've got the money; they're not hurting for it, but at the same time, it's a sincere investment on their part, and right now, it's not paying off.
Right now, it's not.
All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's take our final break of the show here. And when we get back, we're going to talk about what you found out about Colton Herta. We're going to talk about what's going on at the Silverstone circuit down there, because they're thinking maybe a record. And silly season in Formula E has not necessarily affecting a driver here, but it is affecting a team. We'll tell you how as we get into the final segment here of this 4th of July edition of CRN.
Don't touch that dial. The Championship Racing Network will be right back. Two tires only, and back out to the track for more action on the Championship Racing Network.
Welcome back into the show here. Final segment on this July 4th holiday edition of the show. Steve West and Matt Nicholson, producer John Myers holding down things here. John Bird should be back next weekend in this chair. He's being lazy and taking the entire full holiday weekend off. And I got to admit, there's a part of me that's a little jealous. But hey, we promise to give you as much new information as we possibly can, and let's face it, that's what we do here at CRM.
Yep.
All right, so going back to the situation that we were just talking about when it came to Colton Herta and him being, you said, I think 9 points shy of his F1 super license?
before the end of 2025. At the end of 2025, he was at a total of 35 points.
Okay.
Because the super license point system,
it's so weird,
is a 3-year rolling system.
Yeah, and they unfortunately they don't look at IndyCar as well as I think that they should, and that's been a constant complaint by a lot of people.
Yeah, they shouldn't, but they should, but they don't.
Yeah,
because he's at 35, but his points are going to drop to 34 in 2026 after the 2023 point expires due to that 3-year rolling system.
Right.
To qualify, he's got to have the 40 points.
40, right.
But his pathway that he has, he's got a few options with his Formula 2 performance. With competing in F2 in 2026, Herta can earn more points. The FIA awards up to 40 points to the top 3 in F2.
Oh, okay, top 3, gotcha.
And finishing in the top 8 would secure enough points for F1 eligibility. All right, his IndyCar results. If he were to remain in if he would have stayed in IndyCar, he wouldn't need to finish 4th or higher in the championship to earn the remaining points. But the 6th place finish he had in 2025 left him short.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the FP1 sessions, they can earn points by competing in at least 100 kilometers in FP1 sessions, not total, but in one weekend.
Okay.
In the F1 weekends. All right, he could theoretically make up the shortfall by participating in multiple FP1 sessions, but it requires team approval and scheduling.
Yeah, and we already know he's appeared in at least one FP1 for Cadillac so far this year.
I think so, yeah.
One that I know of, let's put it that way. I'm not overly surprised if he's probably done a couple more, and I'm sure he's slated for more by the end of the year. I mean, let's face it, again, he's the heir apparent. He's the driver in waiting.
He's scheduled to take place in 4.
Okay.
And he's done 1 I know of.
So it's just a matter of making sure that the car is enough to where he can get 100 kilometers in one practice session, gaining some points.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably not worth much. It might only be worth 1 point. But if they can do it each of those times that he goes out there, that's 4 points.
Yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at when you are fighting tooth and nail to grab onto any point that you can to get your F1 super license.
Right.
I like what Maggie said when we were talking about the brake fix for the Cadillac F1 car. They found a fix. They cut a hole in the floorboard for the driver's leg. It's the Fred Flintstone solution.
Yabba dabba do.
Yeah, good luck with that. Ow. Based upon pre-race ticket sales for the British Grand Prix, this weekend's race might actually set a new F1 attendance record. F1 doesn't generally give out attendance on a single-day basis, but what they do is they count the number of people that attend over the course of the weekend. Really doesn't matter whether they attend only on one day or they attend on all 3 days. It's just a matter of, turning the turnstile.
Right.
Okay? Officials at Silverstone Circuit reported a record sale for Sunday's on-track action alone. This week, Wednesday, they had already reported ticket sales of 175,000. That's a new Sunday record for the British Grand Prix. And should that trend hold, they say it would set a new record. Estimates already break the current record for a race weekend. That, by the way, belongs to Australia. 31 years ago, for one weekend, the Australian Grand Prix, they pulled in 520,000 people. Silverstone officials are estimating this weekend's total attendance could be as high as 565,000 people.
There's one thing that I always am curious about. Do they count it by actual tickets sold, or how many times that turnstile turns?
It's how many times the turnstile turns. Because again, if for
you
example,
you could have the same people.
Yeah, exactly. The situation is basically this. You and I could go. I could buy just the Sunday ticket. I turn the turnstile once. You buy the 3-day package for Friday and all the practice sessions there and qualifying and sprint race and all that kind of stuff and Saturday morning and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. You turn the turnstile 3 times. That's counted as 3 people.
Yeah, I mean,
they're counting the number of the times the turnstiles are turned.
So with Australia, the years ago, it could have been 173,333 people that turned it 3 times to make it 520,000.
Could very well have been. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. But, it's the same situation. We've talked about this before. NASCAR doesn't release attendance figures. They will just tell you, oh, by the way, grandstands are sold out, or camping, infield camping is sold out, or all tickets are sold out.
See, what puzzles me about that when they do that and you see camera shots pan across, and you see glaring spaces in the
Yeah.
stands.
It's like, who the heck bought a ticket and didn't show?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, folks. If I'm spending, $100 per ticket at least?
Yeah.
More than likely. For a Cup Series race?
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
For me, that's a pretty sincere outlay of money.
Yeah.
And you and I know, we know, for example, how much tickets cost at a Talladega. We know how much the camping places cost, and a lot of it has to do with the placement. If you're in a prime placement, it's going to cost you more. If you're on Talladega Boulevard, it's going to cost you more.
For sure.
I'm sorry, folks. If I'm spending that much money, I'm going to the race. Or I'm going to make sure that the tickets are used. If it's not by me, it's going to be somebody in my family or somebody I know very, very well.
Yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of money plus your sanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Down there.
And the same thing for Formula One. You and I have looked at Formula One race tickets, and here's the thing. Even the cheapest ticket ain't cheap.
No.
It makes a NASCAR ticket for a Sunday race look just absolutely like a bargain basement deal.
Yeah, you could buy a row of tickets.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. I mean, if you just go look up, do yourself a favor. Don't trust us. Do yourself a favor. Go look up the price at COTA or Vegas.
I'm looking at COTA right now.
All right. And by all means, ladies and gentlemen who are listening and or watching us, go look for yourself. Don't just trust us. Go look for yourself.
3-day GA Grounds Pass wristband.
For COTA, Austin, Texas.
Yes. $450.
There you go.
For a 3-day wristband.
The most expensive ticket that I can think of at Talladega is right about $150. So that's 3 Talladega grandstand tickets right around, correct me if I'm wrong, the start-finish line.
No, that's Tribal Tower.
Would it be Tribal? Okay.
Tribal Tower.
I thought it was further down, but I'll defer.
Sunday general admission grounds pass alone is $281.
Oof. And then you start going up from there.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
the lowest standard admission seat.
No, here we go.
In turn 9 at COTA, down at the far end of the racetrack.
Yeah, all the way away.
$393.
All right. What's the most expensive ticket?
Let's go to where the main grandstand is.
Here we go, boys.
Those are resale. Main grandstand, section 5, row 8. It goes for just the brisk amount of $1,487.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Ah, ouch. Yeah. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen.
People are reselling front row tickets for $2,300.
And people are buying them. That's the thing.
Oh,
yeah. And all credit to Formula One. Formula One is in a great situation over there in the fact that they are selling out races all around the world, and that includes right here in the United States, whether you're talking Miami or Austin, Texas or Las Vegas. And there's a reason why we do now have 3 Formula One races here. The tickets are selling. They're going to the races. I get it. It's great. I think it's wonderful. Dang, folks.
Just for giggles.
Oh, sure.
Let's look at Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Vegas is different.
General admission. Standing room only. There's a key word there. Standing room only. From $809.
It starts there and builds up.
Grandstands start at $1,012.
Shoo. Okay. Yeah, good luck with that.
Jeez.
All right, final story of this week, and this goes to Formula E, where Envision Racing has confirmed that they are going to be back next year. They're going to be part of that new Generation 4 platform. They're going to continue to be a customer team of Jaguar, though, using their entire powertrain. This makes them really the first customer team to announce, yes, we're going to continue on, but we're also going to let you know who we're going to get our powertrains from. And I make that distinction because Andretti Global has said that they are going to continue in Gen 4, but they have yet to announce who they're going to work with.
Right.
All they've said so far is they're going to switch away from Porsche. They have not, Envision, however, announced Andretti has not announced what powertrain maker they're going to team with. Most insiders think it's going to be Nissan. As for Envision, they partnered with Jaguar at the beginning of this current generation of powertrains and have had success. 5 wins, 13 podiums coming into this weekend, so it makes sense that they would continue that way.
True.
Envision has been in Formula E since the series began, goes all the way back to the time of them starting off as Virgin Racing and then Envision Virgin Racing. Yep, that Virgin, Virgin Airlines, so on and so forth. They ended up dropping Virgin. DS Automobiles came in for a short period of time, and then they found themselves moving on. They went to like Audi powertrains and then moved on to Jaguar as well. So they've had a storied history, let's say, of playing around and doing all kinds of stuff.
That they have.
But they will soldier on into the Gen 4 platform. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for checking us out here on this July 4th holiday weekend. We have enjoyed bringing you a brand new show here. The racing looks like it's going to be pretty good. Again, for nothing else, I'm going to check out the British Grand Prix just to see if Cadillac can put that American flag look any place other than last and second to last. Please.
Not holding my breath.
Please do. Please do. Just please, once. Would you? Find it. You keep saying you're close. Find it. Get it.
It'd be hilarious if they come out and one of the British teams rewrap one of their cars in the British flag. That'd be hilarious.
Really. McLaren? Would they do it? No, they won't. McLaren's actually got a different look. They're going back to their original look from 1966, I think, was their first look. So it's an all-white look for them. Either way, y'all have a very safe, very happy 4th of July holiday weekend, and I emphasize the safe part. Again, keep all 10 fingers, all 10 toes, your feet, your hands, your arms, your legs, your head attached to your body.
Life.
Yeah, would you? I will say this. Yesterday, we did a best of here because we were off on July 3rd because it was July 4th recognized. Today, in the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to play the second hour of the Dixon and Vining best of. It includes a reading of the Declaration of Independence. How appropriate for this July 4th.
7 years ago.
Thank you, Abraham Lincoln, and the Gettysburg Address. All right. Y'all have a fantastic time. Thanks to producer John. Thanks to Matt. Shop Talk is up next. If you're listening live, y'all have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
This has been a presentation of the Championship Racing Network.